Corona now they picking all they watch for. Let me tell you the truth. Mama, social distancing, all the kids are free. So make we all hear take precautions, take them up. Corona no limba, ina sabi mende.
Ado and welcome to the second edition of the program, Le we Tap Corona Na Salone. Na Radio Mount Aureol-CTN Afrobe College na Freetown. Join on with the radio station where you dey listen to so for bring calm this program to you. And our Foundation HirondelleI na Switzerland they battle this program with funding from the H2H Network Fund and the Danish Refuges Council. Inside our last program, we will talk about how to keep the school picking them safe from the coronavirus sickness as them they prepare for take public examination. For second that, we will talk about the role of the school authority them for keep the picking them safe na school. Inside today's edition, we will talk about waiting the comrade them for do for keep them picking them safe na school. Me now na presenter Kadiatu Kagbo. As we dey push the program go before, make I remind you of waiting the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education be announced for school in OP1 for the one day where they take public examination. Fudi Ibrahim Sharif, now the communication specialist and the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education.
As a ministry, we will not make any decision yet for open school for everybody. The schools that we don't open are for just the one that will take the national exam, one are the NPSC, the Becker, and the WASC examination. And waiting make we decide for do that one day. We get picking away, don't reach the age where they for take these exams. And that where schools that be closed, the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education began for establish the Education Emergency Task Force. And that task force will get 5 pillars. One of the pillars then have been the school reopening pillar. And the school reopening pillar in responsibility have been for advise government and the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education on when we feel saying at the best time for reopen schools then safely whilst we get coronavirus in our country. So that we don't do the work in the background, they're able to come up with recommendations after their consideration of quite a lot of things. Number one, the trend in the corona fight or the corona disease, or looking at other information, other scenarios them. So they be able to come up with recommendations to manage the leadership of the ministry and the senior officials of the ministry for consider waiting at the recommendations. So having taken a look at their recommendations and considering the fact that Sierra Leone are a member of the West African Examinations Council, we decided say let's call a critical stakeholders meeting and talk about whether we go reopen schools for the one that way for take their exams there. So we reopen, we hold a meeting there and everybody consider all the factors and some of the people that will participate in that meeting when are the critical stakeholders them like the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, the National COVID-19 Emergency Operations Center. Now they want to manage the coronavirus in this country and they were part of that meeting. So anything where they're talking at that meeting, they are in guidance of the National COVID-19 control and prevention measures so they don't put. So now that make we open schools.
So which are the measures them after we will not reopen school for like you say for the examination classes? COVID-19 fight.
Definitely, of course, some of the other critical stakeholders that will be joined with for take this decision. Now the one that would manage coronavirus, they were part of the decision making. Ministry of Health and Sanitation, NACOVAC. So they already before they talk even about the school reopening, they don't already establish coronavirus control and prevention measures. Where they cover all man. So for the school system, we just enhance and small. For say, before picking the left now, us, we put guidelines them, operational guidelines. Before they left us 8:45 for kind of school, before don't wash your hand, before don't get face masks. When you reach the school, before don't wash your hand again, before they enter the class, you forget your face masks on. Then inside the class, the teachers and they ensure say they don't maintain social distancing and all of that. So now then they are all will be there in place where where schools they reopen.
That's now Fudi Ibrahim Sharif, the communication specialist for the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, be they talk to with producer Hamed Musa. As this program they focus on waiting the comrade them for do for protect them picking them from COVID-19, let we listen to waiting some comrade them na the west end of Freetown, be get for say to a reporter, Amidu Koroma.
Yes, me as a parent, because me self get picky when I am PSC. So I can advise them at the talk to her, they get in face masks, and I even get spare face masks. If in case the one for them not gone with her, I tell and say let no pick them, let left handed. So me say get and size that still for let the work out with them. The way they reach, I tell and say let was here, let no mingle with people, let go sit down, wait till the teacher, it take to them, where they come let no play. And they make food for them, for go, for let no go buy food, even water, they get water, for making no go big water, or no go buy water na street. And so me they do for me own picking. And the one never go again now, the small one, yes, they say corona, no one water, or no one cold. But I can still tell the patients, they give them water and soup. For any 2-3 hours, and even the size of what they should they sell, like in couch water, for any 2-3 hours, they wash their and when they go play small around no more, they wash them. So now so me they do for me own picking. Don some people like in they waking always they talk say corona no dey. But me believe say corona dey. The only way God does take control over we die they exist. So because according to how they don't do for the measurements there, how for protect yourself. For me, I they continue for doing, and anybody say where they around me, where they argue, they tell them say we not argue. I say the sick day.
Well, like me, I did not host any morning with me got picking to go school. Here 6 marks. I make them mix for that small one because you know to use that big man there.
You can always check on her for make sure say if you use the face mask.
Yes. They call in teacher in our school. I ask them because I go on over to a teacher. I say this time I take care of her. So because I'm small picking really, they 7 years.
So whose advice you give you one send to other parents the way they send their picking in school?
Well, I tell me confident for letting them follow the rule and regulation for letting we able to protect the picking, so we able to fight the COVID-19, give them face masks, hand sanitizer, wash your hand, soap and water. No for preparing a ground, picking them more, no for go say people that book too much.
I say no protect yourself.
I they give picking face masks, I they wash hand, I they take care of hand. When they go to school, I they call and say me no near and come with them. Me no they around, me no play because the sick day, the corona sick. Me I they take care of them. Any morning, I they get lunch. As take time no say I they prepare food.
So you they get food from OCT so you go to may not go buy street food there?
Yes. Or may not eat other side because they sick.
What about the hand washing?
Yes. I they tell them me wash your hand. Me clean me them they hold hand, they wash your hand and they take care of them before you go. I tell them back when they go to school, me wash your hand. When you come on school back, me can wash your hand. Always I they take care of them for the sick.
Okay, you ever there school time for go to school?
Yes. Go to school.
Okay. Whose advice we can for tell other comrades picking them with the school?
Comrades, men take care of the picking good because this sick idea, men take care of the picking. Men no say the sick for now when they born picking, they ask because this sick. So many go to take care of them, comrades and the advice and what they give them.
Well, as a parent, for now, no, I don't say school open and begin to go to school. I make sure say I make food for them, give them face masks, so that at least when go to school, you know, go eat sports in food with their corona, and they put necessary measures in place for last they not get or come in contact. Because always in need as a student when they go to school, they get among to them as a parent. Yes, I hope so and I believe so.
What do you think say other comrades for do?
Well, my advice to other comrades let them make sure so when they send them picking in school, let them give them face masks, let them prepare food for them from the home, let them give them sanitizer so at least if the pen, book, everything necessary we're picking for use for insects, let them make sure so let them provide them so that at least when I go back to the company, maybe the first way then they go, the beginning they go to again infected, they get corona, so that they don't get infected. So we take the company to provide them, let them provide all the necessary needs, them way picking them will want for go school so that they will be prevented from corona.
Same way so, Amidu Koroma, because Waka, na the Dove Court Market, na the east end of Freetown, and talk to some parents there But wetin dem for go dey do for protect dem pikin dem from the COVID-19?
Like me so, me pikin for sit beke, the small one for sit MPSC. But why they left them na us and they happy, why go so ala palava. Right now they carry them na market. For return on na wahala, for come on na fet and transport. Right now when they say school they can open, so from then days there, I glady and me pikin no get no side for go pass no more na school they go. And right now when you pikin land, you save the comrade, it go better for you because me want not be go school. But if me pikin land now, it go can't pull me for sufferness. Look back, they can't suffer na dove cut, poto, sano, are they under sun, are they under rain. But when they say school they can open, so I glady. I get 4 pikin then. Where they take care of me, man, no dey pan hook.
Me na Mrs. Maria Tusise. I dey send this message to the president. We so happy when they open the road because some of you business they don't like. We know they follow progress because you go they can sell person trust you market and you need the money. Where you sell money, no they just get for bye for a pikin and then go cook. Lockdown be the disturb. We dey like it today. If you would make the road open, we appreciate enough and we appreciate where the sick not infect with too much. If you know for me the pulling experience here for block each and other, so until for don't get the same thing like how we get in the Ebola time. We happy because when school now they go on, the pikin and they stupid enough more. So now when the school they open, we really happy. Like me so why they talk, me grand pikin for 6 MPSC, where they all sit down and they full more. Me pikin me last pikin me they sit twice. When they say the school they come people, let them say I'm so happy, I swear to God. I tell God thank you, I tell the president thank you. May Allah continue for help them and make more progress for we the country. Some pikin and their parents they find way for let them find somebody they take class with them so they not go stupid enough. So them when they don't get the opportunity, I get the hope that the way government don't do this, inshallah by the grace of Allah, then we must make our ends.
So what about the measures then where they get for begin attend school tomorrow on Wednesday, where government for kids for the pikin where they attend school? What do you think the government for do for put measures then for maybe corona not affect them?
Well, like the protect no more because in first place they say we are not for near that now one post protect that one they know to show we're happy for that. Like the same no more where the party where they put things in place, they continue so we're happy because we not go glad the law just the all temper this strain. But if this opportunity come, where do I'm glad let Allah bless them. Let God give the people more experience than they will land with.
We don't see the one they ready class 1, class 2. They see the one they ready from 2 to SS1, SS2. Them don't see them right now. Them they go school for tomorrow. What do you think the government for do? Being that so we don't see first term, we don't see second term. What do you think the government for do?
They make that government let do things for them fast because some of them they go sit down. This idea go make them get better. That's now one infection that one day. Then so then the one they went on reach to the age but then they full more. And they full more. And begin waiting they learn every day. If you don't say 1 month, 2 months, they're stupid. You know that. So would they beg Papa government let you do act for them side and they let put time back in place, let it go be normal. You see? Like no more let find way back, let them begin go school, let the space no more wear face mask or protect no more. For let the kids they no go sit down more and more.
That's not some comrade them na Freetown where be they talk to a reporter Amidou Koroman. From Freetown, we dey go na Moyamba for no waiting the parents and they do for protecting picking them from the coronavirus sickness. Let we listen to this report by Augustine J. Amara where they work na Radio Mount na Moyamba.
Well, Fambul, government don't open school for exam class na Salone. Well, today we dey watch at the safety of the pikin na school. Waiting go be the parents their own role as them go make sure say them pikin become safe when they go na school and even after school. I deal with one parent we go tell Fambul them in name.
Me na Merila Luba. One from the parents we get speaking at the exam classes.
And now, Auntie Mary Laluba, let we just watch. Waiting will be on our own role as parents for make sure say them picking and safe na school doing this school where government are open for exam class and the fight against COVID-19.
Well, we all not much. we only need for tell the pikin for stick to the rules. We no say government don't tell we, and we self no say we for use we face masks them. We not go use them as chin masks. Cover your nose, cover your mouth. Frequently wash your hand. Stay at home. So like when now they don't open school for them for going to school, we also tell the pikin and say when they enter at the school compound, let them make sure say they stay at the compound. Stay at the compound until school over. After that, they can straight to house. And when they can house, they go wash their hand before they enter, and they can also wash their hand before they left the compound.
So now, as you don't talk all this, the pikin don't go school, they don't day na school, and they come back na house, they for can join and company them. Waiting na the role of the parent for make sure so whether pikin come back, they come safe, and the one they back where they meet, then they go become safe.
When I make government be don't say whether they go to that school day, we not supposed for go visit them as parents say. Therefore, when they go, we for prepare food for them. Every parent for prepare food for in pikin, where we they refer to as lunch. Where he go, and then he go eat, so that he go able for staying at the school. And we as parents, they're not for tired for remind we picking them. Say them for wash their hands frequently. The parents are able for provide hand sanitizer. Go provide hand sanitizer for their picking them, so that they go they sanitize their hands as often as they can. And also them for make sure say they stay within the school compound, and they for make sure say after school wash their hand before they left the compound, can also wash their hand before they enter. And when they enter, government say stay at home go reduce the risk for let you get COVID. So when the pikin come out school, it come back na us. We for make sure say he stay at home. When he stay at home, he read in book, then that's going to reduce the infection of COVID-19. And the pikin they your safety where they can mix. We they also make the pikin the way we get say where they go let them abide by the rules. Because if they abide by the rules, then go come home safe and join a family. They don't go bring some problem for them.
So let we just watch as this face masks where government say even the teacher and the pikin them for the use na school. What will be your message as a parent to us around it?
Yeah, every teacher supposed for use in face masks, and every school pikin supposed for get in face masks when in a school, and teacher not for allow any pikin when not get face mask for enter inside the campus for let it join in picking them, because we they really try for reduce the risk for get this COVID-19.
So finally, what will be message to teachers them way they in the school authority, and the parents them way they listening to you now?
Me just encourage them so that they go continue for use their face masks, continue for wash their hands, and continue for tell the pikin they what they're supposed for do and what they're not supposed for do against this COVID-19. And as parents, and they also talk so the other parents there so that they go continue for provide lunch for them pikin they let it try so that the pikin themselves will reduce the risk for spread the COVID-19 so that Sierra Leone go be free from this sickness here, so and we go live with normal life. Because even as at now, we pray that September schools reopen so that we pikin and go able for go school.
Mr. Betua, you na parents na Moyambaya. Now government not open school for them picking them. How really una as a parent go make sure say the picking them safe? Waiting go be una your role for make sure say the picking them safe na the school.
First of all, as the corona been don't come, we don't put in place various things in our homes. So I believe say then things that we don't put in place for let the picking the washing regularly, let them make sure say with the monitor health, you know, SSF will continue for doing at the school so that SSF will keep himself safe. At the end of the day, a health it will be very paramount to run. And then thing and then I get for do because already we don't start up from the home.
As the pikin go school, you don't even know how the teacher and the pikin them go interact na the school with your computer. Which will be a message where you go want for send na the school where the teacher will actually take for make sure say una pikin and safe na the school.
So I don't already visit the schools and see how the city accommodation then at the schools. And that's some of the parents that most of the parents are supposed to do. Because the pikin there now for bill with priority. So that the city accommodation itself not for encourage the Sidonia near because corona somebody they pass and give other person, you know, they work up and your food go to person. At the end of the day, when we they do that, we they continuously appeal to teachers for make sure say then keep to waiting at the government regulations as well as waiting the Ministry of Health don't they talk. So that at the end of the day, the Pekin they will all go be safe in the community.
So let we watch into the primary school. You know, say them primary school Pekin away like Rasso. And actually that make government watch and say launching off of day Pekin go come on those so that they no get that chance for Rasso. But when they in a class, some go begin knocking company when teacher no go in a class. So what you go on for say on that?
That now one of the things that the teachers are not for encourage. School the interaction it can be by words of mouth, not to by hand or by body touch. Because when that happen, now the thing go pass. And then for always make sure say the NSSF continue for use masks. So that I don't see the Ministry of Education don't provide masks for schools as well as with the parents. They will continue for use anything and they will continue for pressure, put pressure on the teachers, let them not relent. So that they picking and they will continue for be safe. Me don't visit my own school. I don't see the city accommodation. I don't talk to them. And me don't make sure say then they continue for do what in the government don't they say.
That's that Augustine J. Amara. Na Radio Modka na Moyamba the report. Well, let we relax now small and listen to this music.
The bad news is that everyone is a potential victim. But the good news is that everyone is a potential solution. Sensitize the masses to sanitize. Keep a social distance and quarantine. The coronavirus is sweeping over mankind. Everybody must be alert. It's a global pandemic we can never take for granted. Kila mtu must be alert. It's a matter of life we can never take for granted. Discipline and personal hygiene and make sure you regularly wash your hands. Keep a distance from everyone. Report anything like a symptom. Serious fever is a symptom. Dry cough is a symptom. Walk with camera is a symptom. Itchy eyes and flu is a symptom.
Corona song where Bobby Wine na Uganda do. Welcome to the second segment of the program, Le we Tap Corona Na Salone. Members say, na Radio Mount Aureol-CTN na Fobe College na Freetown join hand with the partner radio station for bring come this program to you. And our Foundation HirondelleI na Switzerland, they battle this program with funding from the H2H Network Fund and the Danish Refuges Council. Inside today's edition, we will talk about what the comrade them for do for keep them picking them safe from COVID-19 at school. Me now na presenter Kadia to Kagbo. Inside this second segment of the program, we will talk to parents them na Kono and Potloko for no waiting they self they do for protect them picking them from the coronavirus as they prepare for take their exam them. But first, let we listen to this important public service message.
I'm therefore pleased to announce that effective Monday, 13th of July 2020, all mosques and churches and other places of worship shall be open for congregation and worship.
This na good news, and we don't begin go church and mosques back for go worship God. All things done they go back to normal and safe. Now na time for the hug and shake hand at church and mosques them.
Then also the World Body Ministry and Nakova not talk say the coronavirus don't do na Salone. In fact, they say now we all for tower for do the thing them we go help we not forget the sick or self give other people them.
Oh, I see. That's now good and important advice.
So, me Christian and Muslim pramble them. Remember say, as we the glad for go back to church or mosque, we for they listen to the advice what the well body ministry and NACOVAC them may give you for protect yourself and other people where they around you from COVID-19. We for the wash we and them with soap and clean water, use face mask and self no near person too much. We mean say we for the keep with social distance all time. Where we then do or inside with church or mosque. And if we not get any COVID-19 case, we for the clean and disinfect with church and mosque all time.
Now true, we for left we never them like how we left with them. So dear, make we value we life and other people their life and do the thing them we go keep we all safe from COVID-19 na Salone. This message will come out from Radio Mount Aureol-CTN at College, Freetown, in collaboration with Foundation HirondelleI Switzerland, with funding from the H2H Network Fund and the Danish Refuges Council.
Let we go now na kono and yeri waiting some comrades say they do for keep them picking them safe from COVID-19. Rebecca Jimmy Yambasum na Koidu City. A parent be talk there to saw of the new song.
I guess so many things and what they put in place for system picking safe from let not become affected with coronavirus. Like one for the first thing I can do, like food, you know, say food issue now can make more back picking and they play together, join rub skin within company. So what I can do in the morning I they prepare in lunch for them and I can also prepare in breakfast. If you're not able for eat in the morning I can double and all together I go. And from there I can get advice. Because anything we do, if I advise I can get advice. I tell them about corona, I tell them about the effect and the way we person get coronavirus, and also I can get a face mask and I buy sanitizer where I use that we own intelligent sanitizer when I the Lovelia, I get a medina in bag. I tell her say any small if for the rubber in hand for able for preventing self for not get coronavirus. And also like question I say again, I tell them not they play too much, not they even play with the company too much that knack play because what make they don't tell you say coronavirus you they get through contact with another person or where the virus don't go in the air. So against all the precautionary measures them when the medics them don't tell you so they enlighten us, sensitize them and also they provide the necessary thing that we need like in face masks, in hand sanitizer and also in lunch for sister not go able for mix for let go get COVID-19.
As still COVID-19 in the country and the picking them within the examination classes they attend, what do they expect from the government?
Yeah, still this na COVID-19. We expect so much from the government and we want for say plenty thank you to the government because yesterday I've been passed around the community football field. I see the government then they share soap, face masks, buckets them to school heads them so that when they go able forget to the picking them for then they go able for prevent themselves from COVID-19. And I also want for say the government still continue in the monitoring process because one thing I can always say for let it get a success into any implementation of any activity, the monitoring enough for only begin from the enough for always start from the beginning of the implementation. If I start from the beginning, if I be monitoring for always be an ongoing process. So I still encourage the government, in as much as they don't provide the thing that were necessary for prevent the picking them and the teachers them from COVID-19, let them still continue in the monitoring activities because some 19 and they then go don't provide them. But maybe the schools they not go get to the picking them, or maybe the schools they use them in them. But then go only able for know if they're able for monitor the process. So I still encourage the government, let the government continue in the monitoring, let it continue for monitor every school till the day where the last picking in the seat.
You message to your company parents them we maybe go just let na money for just let them picking and make them go so well na government responsible na them still school open. What you go like for telling?
Yeah, me they tell me company parents they say we not say to ensure where the country there. It's not easy as people can normally say, But I want for you know say if that small that 2,000 cassava, let me so not about put I can make from picking. So then the money I make cassava put butter again. But if you don't learn for satisfied with what you get, that's what able for save. So they encourage all parents them, let them teach them picking them about COVID-19 and let them advise them and let him make sure say even if you don't get that small little nothing where he gets for prepare food, if I call yourself one man put on a lunch boat, let you give you picking. And if I sanitizer, if you know say you no get sanitizer, that Lovelia, me I say I no get sanitizer, now Lovelia I buy I give me picking. Let we the parent them, let we see say we able for provide that lunch and the breakfast and lunch for we picking them, and we give them the hand sanitizer and we sensitize them about the effects of COVID-19, about the way the people they contact COVID-19. Because if they're able to know about that, picking and afraid die, you're able to tell and say this thing, and if you do this, you go get COVID-19, and if you get time, you go die, you not go see me again. Believe in me, it go adhere to all them precautionary measures there. So do you they encourage we or let we not left with picking, and so let we see say we able to provide them breakfast and lunch and teach them, give them their face mask, their hand sanitizer, so that they go able to prevent themselves.
That's a one parent Rebecca Jimmy Yambasu na Koidu sitting. Be the talk to Kwada to so of radio new song. Same way so Matthew Roland Congo na Eastern Radio Kono be talks of Francis Joe, a parent on the safety of school picking them from the coronavirus sickness.
To start with, when this epidemic come na the world force, becoming as somebody we are the work, then I get access to DSTV. I see what's in the happen at the international world. So at the end of the day, every evening when I come out, I bring down me picking them. Select na the medical side, now we see what's in the happen at the world. We they sit down with the discourse of them. That time the epidemic no even reach it now we country Sierra Leone when they pray for letting no reach. So before the epidemic they come, we don't get the awareness already. They don't see the kind of destruction where this epidemic the cause now the international world. So I tell them say from that moment I tell them say well now guys when I see what's in the happen, this law start direct measures. That is to say, me first when I did daddy, if I come out, I come. If I not wash me hand, when I not allow me like even mask na the veranda. So we make an that way they like a fun. Now that I say this is not a fun. This not something real. When allow we begin practice something. Because this way see don't start at the international world. We go for the cow. You know even today now we begin a report some of the other countries and we are report to neighbor Guinea, we are report Liberia, and I say, hey guys. I say this fight I don't see it go on. As soon as I don't see, you don't begin come closer. Yes. So we all buy the idea. So we begin monitor we self now. And then now picking away them back don't go small because picking away don't they another worst level. Get the one in the way then they now secondary school now, then they SS. So we all begin monitor ourselves. Because we live like a friends then. So while they are come out, hey dad, you know what I know? No enter na veranda. Now what's me and I say no bad.
That's Francis Joe, a parent na Koidu sitting. Be the talk to Matthew Roland Congo na Eastern Radio na Kono. Matthew be also ask Massa Joe when a school picking na the unique international academy na Kono, but waiting them parents and they tell them for do as then they prepare for go school.
Then tell we say before we dey go na school we for use the face mask. And when we go to school, before we enter a classroom there, we for wash we hand because they pin water at the mouth of the classroom. So you for wash your hand before you enter inside the classroom. And they advise we for social distance. When you inside classroom, you know for near you comping, you not forget social distance between you and comping. And when school over, where you can host, if na close marks you use, if you wash the close marks.
Okay, so how una self-knowledge adhere, you and the people they begin themselves, also other students themselves, where they around the community, how you don't help them so much in that direction for you? Just say every day the cloth mask or you use for going to school, after school, then just say you wash them.
We can advise each and one of your friends there, like how the government advisory. Where you come out school, if na close marks you use, you wash hand, and if where they can at school for wash your hand as the advisory.
Where you left us in the morning, if you just say soap and water for washing and for enter, now the school will say you attend.
Yes, as my own school, Unique International Academy, before you go to school, the teacher they ask for the face mask, and they put on the face mask before you enter inside any classroom, and you wash your hand there. Then they advise you back where you come on a class. Before you anything where you church, if you wash your hand back, then where you can host, if you clean the face mask back where you use.
So how also the school administration self they adhere to like the social distancing, how like the classroom setting sound like for
The classroom sitting would sit down 2-2. And where you sit down, if you give you company distance, and they allow you sit down near your company.
Alright, then they allow make you near your company at all. So you think say from where they don't institute now kind of now the school is still all water, because sometimes now we communities them they can put laws them, but at the end of the day, the laws them waiting then they expect much from the laws than they not can go the way people self where they watch for the law and they go the kind way they want not can go. So how like then law like now in our school?
Our law where them put is still all water, because until now people they use face masks and they wash their hand, so the law in guaranteeing our own school.
What like get as message for you can be school picking them where they also fortunate for like attempt to the WASC and same also the MPSC now the district and also the country as a whole.
Like I do advise we for the face masks, we see say this sick way don't come, now sick way they kill. So where you go na your classes then for use the face mask, even if we sit the WASC, where you go for go sit for use the face mask, and even as that if for study back.
But waiting them parents them they tell them for do as they prepare for go school. That's a Masajo, school picking at the Unique International Academy, na Konon. If they talk to Matthew Roland Congo, na Eastern Radio na Konon. From Konon, we they go na the far north inside Posloko, inside Halaji Sanko. We talk to one party parents them, but waiting if they do for make sure say school picking them practice the safety measure them where government and well body workman them don't put for make sure say the sick not spread na the school them.
Me, I think say me as parents, I get a very key role for play. Because we know how this sickness transmits. When it starts, the health people them and other people and then they go and they tell we waiting we for do so that we not go get this sick here. And now that school door open and we begin and then they go school, the first thing when me as parents we I do because me begin the class 6 again face masks. Because I no go sit down wait till pass government can supply me. If they boku them don't they give we free. The one they way them in give free where they sell in a market, at the game me pick away come out school, and they ensure say I was some because na cutting. Why I was some we ready for go I put her understand we ready for go school na money, they go with them. And the other thing again, I they provide food for me picking. Before they go na school now and know they selling and not go want when me picking go na school where not get food for it, they go any nearby so say go get in contact with anybody when know they practice them measures they are where them put for it. So I they make sure say I they provide food for me because I like na garri and sugar I get I they put on me picking bag for they go na school for it. And also I they teach me picking waiting is supposed for do like this for us and because the hand they carry bucket in them. So me don't use me picking and I get bucket for was and I tell them say we then go school, then they wash their hand and then they practice that social distance. Many know they church too much. If then they play safe, let them know how then they play. After which they then they wash their hand then. And I know say some comrade and they talk say now una go school this but not to that kind of thing because me I know say if me picking go contact a car with me go can my family and I not go want anything happy with and my family. That make all waiting is supposed for do why don't teach them for the anwas, for the was and they use the nose marks, you know how they play small because right now I know they allow them for let them they come out so no more even now area because right now I know about me picking status I don't know the other picking there when me picking they go so they limit the activity of playing so that they all they help we so now that kind of tuition they I don't give me picking them and then I believe say where they don't use and so now so then they go back in school now so then they go do so now some of them things they are so me as parents I think say we for do so that we picking and not go contact
Okay, the pikin don't go to school, they don't go play, and you get for kana house. And safety also very important for the and the way they na house, and whilst in the common school, you don't know what thing do happen. So how you go do in that scenario?
Like where they can come on school where he come, we also always make sure say the uniform where he do well. As he come, they pull out and put them for lady and wasa. Because that they are obvious every day then they was uniform. Like where they class, because you know say they must get that and small rascal then the way they make the uniform they don't see. So as he can no more, they don't pull out uniform day. And me, I tell you, I get rubber bucket na me house. As they begin they can before they enter na me house, they don't meet the bucket na they don't want to see. And then they only did the for more this business starts. Not supposed to fena for me. Na me say safe as come fena put na me house. I guess small picky we not 3 years it. Anybody we can house, they tell you say you know what you on it. Mama this say no what you on it. So because we don't use to them. So then they na the other thing as he can't don't want to on. The uniform where you wear, you know they put you know they mix them. As he they don't pull and put in a bucket for wasa. I think then some of them no more we as Komra we they do because one I not get temperature machine for will check me picking. But if you are not say me picking oh well I know the allowance say for late go school because I don't know don't make quick and they make for late and check and for me waiting at the problem. So now then kind thing there so me as Komra no I think say I for do because me are afraid when they say sick you don't know I come on I don't know waiting for 3 times all waiting the medical people they not say we say now this for do now that kind measures and they take as Kumra.
Okay, some just can start for a while and later then left back. So how about you?
Well, me I pray God that we not tire we as Kumra and Kumra we for members say that short term picky also gets for go school all the final and the exams picking them now short term so we get for make sure say waiting the picking and supposed for do let them do them because no matter how you look at we picking and safety for be priority some come let them love you no more these are because some man no care but me I want follow the parents and we care for we picking them if you picking go get anything they bring kind of family them and remember they tell what they talk about the Ebola they say we church the kind of people we been lost in life and process it because some man we don't go church you can mingle with your family where there's person sickness say no church you go begin so this all the things that we get for reflect we minds them back so that we not go bring cancer something in our family remember if anything happen in your family now the pain where you feel a pastor next person where they can sympathize with you.
That's na Yakoya Kamara. One party parents them na post-local and if they talk to a large Sanko where they work na radio Bankasuka. Well, na yaso we the end with second edition of a program le we Tap Corona Na Salone. Member say na Radio Mount Aureol College na Freeton join and with the radio station where you dey listen to so for bring come this program to you. And na Foundation HirondelleI na Switzerland they battle this program with funding from the H2H Network Fund and the Danish Refuges Council. Thank you to the production team. Assistant producer Mary Alpha, producer Emmanuel Nyake Momo, senior producer Musraba Isise, and the executive producer James Tambalebi. Until we meet again for the next edition, let we all put hands together for protect we begin them na school. Me na una presenter Kadia to Kadboom. Tata.
For you. Corona now they picking all they watch for. Let me tell you the truth. Social distancing, now they keep passing. So let me all hear you. Quick, take them up. Corona no limba. Enough to be